Hello, Aries. This is your reading for the week of January 5th, 2026. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or a lot of important placements in your chart. And of course, it won't be for everybody. Aries, as I was tuning in with you, two images came in for me from Spirit. And one was that there is a fountain that you're looking at that seems to have been blocked. So you're not getting the flow coming up out of this fountain the way you expected to. And it's actually a very simple fountain. It's nothing extravagant. But you're looking at it and you're not really noticing the fact that the fountain is okay. It's just that there are a few pebbles blocking the flow of it. Okay. Whereas you're starting to wonder if you need a whole new fountain. Don't. You just need to clear away some of the pebbles from this particular fountain that seems to be slowing down or not providing you with the same kind of water, nourishment, nurturing, whatever emotionality, emotional connection, whatever the water represents to you specifically, Aries. Now, what's the other thing that struck me was this. Yes, thank you. Before I pulled the cards, it was you walking with your head down, looking at your feet. And you're looking at your feet because it's as though you're expecting your feet to tell you where you're supposed to be stepping next. But what they're showing me is, no, you're meant to be looking up now. You're meant to be looking for guidance from here because you've been looking for guidance for something from something. How do I want to put this? If we look at our feet and we look at our connection to the earth, it's very practical. Our feet get us places. It moves us places. But it's also the thing that, while it is the thing that can transport us there, it is up to us to decide where our feet take us, not our feet. So what they're saying here is, out of over 100 cards and 3 separate packs within that 100 card deck, you get 2 different choice cards. Okay? One is telling you choice is the choices that you make are what create your life. Even if you don't want to look at it on a metaphysical level, which of course I do, but even if you don't, you know that if you make a choice to go to university as opposed to getting a job, the trajectory of your life changes. You know, if you decide to get married at 21 and have a child at 22, the trajectory of your life changes if you instead go to school or go traveling, right? Every single choice you make, the way you dress, where you live, who you associate with, and the attitude that you wish to carry about yourself. Excuse me, yourself and your place in the world. Bringing your choice to the conscious present is very often the thing that causes you to be able to really identify what's getting in the way. Because when you're making a choice, you're making a choice based on either what you think is going to help you, your feet, or what you feel is going to be helpful. When I say helpful, the best. So if you're thinking about it, you tend to be looking at your feet, having them tell you where to go. If you're feeling about where to go and you're feeling your choices through, that's where you really want to be connected to source, to your higher conscious mind, because that's the place from which you're going to make the choices that are in alignment with that which is good for you, that which is in harmony with who you are at the deepest level. Now, what you're being told here, because you've got two cards about choice, this really says to me, Spirit is really talking to those of you in the collective who are making choices. And I feel for a lot of you, it is emotional because the water is very much symbolically about the unconscious, but also about our deeper emotions. So I feel as though, and also because it's a fountain which is spraying up into the air and it's an expressive thing, I feel this is something that is going on now that is more active, and that is probably something that is connected to other people. And why am I saying that? Because that's what I'm seeing, is literally other people around this fountain. What you're being told, Aries, is do your best to maintain a sense of humor. And as I looked at the humor card, What I saw was an exercise I have done before in my life, which is when there is a problem with a situation, and oh God, okay, now you get the love card, okay? Love being something that you don't give to some and not to others. Love is about a state of being that we radiate. And so love and humor, this is what you're getting by maintaining. Okay, so the exercise, sorry, thank you. So the exercise that I have sometimes done when I'm feeling really compressed emotionally about how I want to deal with a situation that's conflicted, what I will do in my mind is I'll turn everybody into a caricature. What does a caricature do? You've seen them at the carnivals and fairs and things where people's physical images are exaggerated to the point of being comical. Well, this is what I do in my mind with situations. I will sometimes, not always, but I will sometimes turn whatever the opposing forces are into the biggest possible picture of who they are. If they're haughty, I will exaggerate their haughtiness to the point where it's practically an old coward play. Or if they're timid, I'll turn them into little teeny tiny. If they're being timid about expressing themselves, I'll imagine themselves like this, just a little tiny, I don't know, whatever happens to strike me in the moment. And maybe they'll just be humans too. Maybe I'll turn them into animals. But what it does is it kind of breaks the hypnosis that I've got around that situation. And it reminds me that whatever I'm feeling at an emotional level, I can choose to step back and respond rather than react. And by bringing humor into it, it allows me to see where I might be misrepresenting things, where I might be exaggerating it. When I see myself as in that character, of a bull, with steam coming out my nose, it's like, okay, Lynn, yeah, right. So maybe you're overreacting here. Can you step back and not be a bull? Okay. So for whatever reason, Aries, this is what I'm getting is try to look at the people around you in a way where you can have some kind of playful energy around it, where you can where you cannot take it so seriously that you can't allow humor into the situation, because allowing humor into the situation and to see it through this exaggerated lens, this comical exaggerated lens, it can actually free you up from a lot of the emotional things that are kind of constricting your ability to choose or to know which way you want to choose. What it does is it helps discharge some of your intense energy around the situation, which is really what you're needing. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that, Aries, and wish you all the very best for 2026. Take care.